Welcome to Mindset Mastery. My name is Kevin Bjorklund, and right beside me, I have some of the most famous books on the power of the mind. They are the elite. If you go on YouTube and you Google and you search, what are the top books? Give me the top 100 books on the power of the mind, on success, on personal development. These books are going to be in there. And what I have found is there is a common theme through all of these books. There's something that they all have in common, and yet it's below the surface. It's not what you would expect it to be in these books. And it's not the most, common thing that you would think, like thinking or thought or mindset. It's different than all of that. And that's what I'm going to share in this video. And I'm also going to illustrate something that is so significant to understanding mindset. I have it in some of my other videos, but I'm going to re-illustrate it here. And I'm going to give new meaning to it in relation to what all of these books have in common. Before I do, I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, comment. This video is designed to help you achieve greatness this year. At whatever time you're watching it, I promise this video is going to contain so much value. So I encourage you to share it as well. All right, let's go through the books. The first book, and these aren't in order necessarily, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by W. Clement Stone and Napoleon Hill. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. How to Own Your Mind by Napoleon Hill. He's in a couple of these. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Think and Grow Rich by none other than Napoleon Hill. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Now, all my hardcover books, I take the sleeve off because I don't like it. So I like to find what the hardcover is. That's why I don't have any of the sleeves on these. Then the last one, just for now, there's plenty others that we could go through. You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. This was a personal version that was sent to people who joined his mastermind or master class in 2020. So that's why that one's personalized. What do all of these books have in common? It's not mindset. It's not thought. It's not thinking. I mean, it is, but it goes deeper than that. And it's a word that is used more commonly now than it has been in the past. And the word is energy. All of these books have to do with energy. Everything has to do with energy. Now, what do we know about energy? Energy, it can't be created, can't be destroyed. It's always transforming into new forms, right? And it's everywhere. Everything is energy. And energy is in motion, right? And so I'm going to illustrate this in a very powerful way and what the mind has to do with energy and how it all connects. Okay. Can I show you something that you won't necessarily find in all of these books? This is what I personally learned from Bob Proctor, and it completely illuminated all of these concepts. And I know that's the same for him too. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. Now, where does this image come from? It comes from Thurman Fleet. In 1934, this is when Thurman Fleet developed this image. Okay. And he said, I need to be able to create a picture of the mind so people can understand what's going on. That's what this is going to do. The top circle is your mind, right? And you've got your conscious mind, which is your thinking mind. And then the subconscious mind is your feeling mind. Now, your mind is so powerful. That's where we understand this concept of mindset. What is your mind set to? Not just your thinking, but your thinking and your feeling. And there's so much that this is just one aspect of it. I've seen this drawing probably 10,000 times for real, maybe even more. And every time it becomes more and more powerful. And so I'm just giving you one example of this today. And then the bottom circle is your body. Now, the body, the physical body that you operate in is energy in motion, right? We know that it's energy in motion. Now, what controls that body of yours is your mind. And I point to your head as in the brain, but the mind exists in every cell of your body. Okay. And so your thinking mind is where your thoughts are originated, and you have those mental faculties. I have another training on this. I'll put a link in the description. I would highly encourage you to go get that training. It goes way more in depth. But your thinking mind, you have the mental faculties of the mind, your imagination, your intuition, perception, memory, reason, and will. That's your thinking mind. That's the creative capacity of your mind. The subconscious mind is your feeling mind. And this is where the programs are stored, your mental programs. We are programmed from birth and continuing on through our life. It's inescapable for the mind to be programmed. And those programs are stored in the subconscious mind. You can call them paradigms, you can call them habits, whatever you want, but they are programs that exist in the subconscious mind. And that mind, that conscious mind, subconscious mind connection is what puts that body of yours into a state of vibration or energy output. Okay. And based on that energy output, it will determine what you do and also what you attract to yourself. This is the law of vibration, law of attraction. Okay. Really, really cool stuff when you study it. And really everywhere you go to study, you're going to find these concepts. It'll be from different lenses because different people have different expertise, but you're going to hear similar things no matter where you go. Okay. So this body of yours is put into motion based on what's going on in your mind. Now, the subconscious mind is what dominates almost everything that we do, right? It's the programs that have been programmed that really control what we do on a daily basis. Some of these base programs that we have, obviously our heart beating, our eyes blinking, our breathing, all of that is a part of these subconscious programs. But then we program other things through our environment, our upbringing, all of that. Okay. And so that is what we act upon almost always every single day until we change it. And in order to change those programs, we have to become aware of them. This is where awareness is so powerful. What I'm getting to energy and how mindset is directly linked to this energy output. So to do this, I use an example, and it's this acorn. Okay. An acorn is energy in a state of vibration. And inside of that acorn is the potential to become an oak tree. That's why I drew that oak tree right there. See that? So the acorn has the potential to be an oak tree. And I ask this almost every time I speak. I say, if I take this acorn and we put it on the desk, how many years is it going to take for the acorn to become the oak tree? And everyone answers, well, never. And that's true because it's never going to become what its potential is because it's in the wrong environment. So I draw that little dotted line and I say, now, if you take that acorn and you plant it in the ground, what's happening? Well, it's going to become the oak tree. Why? Because it's in the right environment. That acorn, with all the potential to become the oak tree, it needs to find the right environment for it to become the oak tree. But the acorn isn't doing anything different, right? The acorn above ground and in the ground, it's doing the same thing. It's expressing its energy. You can't see it with your eyes, but if you looked at it, it's expressing energy. Now, the only energy it can express is that of the acorn. It's not going to express the energy of corn. It's not going to express the energy of wheat. It is an acorn, and it's going to express the energy of that acorn. And when you plant it in the soil, now what's happening is it's expressing that energy, and it's receiving back to it energy that it requires to produce its potential, which is the oak tree. Now, this is so fascinating because I had heard this a lot, and Bob Proctor teaches this a lot. And I was in a mastermind with Bob Proctor and then a number of other people. And I was broken up into a group, and one of the guys had been coached by Bob Proctor since the 90s. He had been in multiple programs since the 90s. And we were talking about this, and I shared what I'm about to share with you. And his mind, he was like, oh my goodness, I get it. I understand what Bob has been talking about since the 90s. He said, I have seen this so many times. I just never saw it that way. That's what I'm about to express to you. So we've got this acorn, it's energy in a state of vibration. It's energy being expressed, but that energy with the potential to become that massive oak tree. Sometimes even people say, it's not just an oak tree, it's a forest of oak trees. And they're right, it is. That energy being expressed, it's not producing anything because it's in the wrong environment. Take that acorn and you put it in the ground, and now that energy being expressed is producing something because it's in the right environment. This is exactly the same process with you and I. Thoughts in the mind must be planted in a subconscious environment of belief. So you have a lot of people who have conscious belief, they don't have subconscious belief. And the energy that's being expressed is ineffective. It's not producing what they want it to produce. That energy, our body is put into a state of vibration based on our subconscious programming, our emotional mind. You want to know what you're producing? Just think about how you're feeling. What you are feeling is being expressed in an invisible form going out. And what it's doing is that it's attracting to you, back to you, everything that's in harmony with that expressed output. This is why culture is so important, because you typically see where there's, you find these stories of people who came from nothing. They came from this environment, the city they came from, or the town, or the whatever, the neighborhood that they came from. It wasn't conducive to this life that they're now living. Well, what happened? They typically had to remove themselves from that environment to find an environment that was conducive, but also in harmony with what they believed, right? Their thoughts and their beliefs were not congruent with the environment around them. And what happened? It forced them to leave. And they found the environment that would cultivate that belief system and that dream that was on the inside. That the culture is so important. That culture of belief is the soil, but we also have that on an internal level. First, before anything changes, we have to change on the inside. Now, you can take someone and you can put them in an entirely new culture, and that culture will impact their belief system. So it's thoughts that are rooted and grounded in belief. That is where action being expressed through energy being expressed is now attracting to it energy coming back that it needs. So you think about the acorn. The acorn can't change what the acorn is. The acorn is the acorn, but you are not an acorn. You are a human being with a mind that has the ability to create images. Just like the acorn has the image of the oak tree, you have a mind with an imagination that empowers you to create images that are seeds, your own personal thought seeds. And when you plant them in belief, the subconscious mind, it begins to take form in the form of action and attraction. This is where Andrew Carnegie, I'm sure if you go through one of these books, Andrew Carnegie is going to be quoted. Any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in its most convenient form. What is he saying? He's saying any idea that's held in the mind. How do you hold an idea in the mind? With the will. That's one of the mental faculties. Any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized. What is the emphasis? It's emotional connection. That's either feared, negative emotional connection, or revered, positive emotional connection, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient form available. What did King Solomon in the Bible say? He said, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it overflows the issues of life. What was he saying? The subconscious mind is the heart. Anytime you see heart, it's subconscious mind. Anytime you see subconscious mind, think heart. Any idea that's held in the mind or held in the heart, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, that's emotionally positive or emotionally negative, will begin at once to clothe itself in its most convenient form available. One of the last videos I did, I quoted 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, 95% of people would rather die than think. And I said, was that just a funny statement? No, you think about it. Most people, the images that they're creating with this imagination of theirs, they're negative. And those negative images that they are holding in the mind, it's causing a negative emotional connection to that image. Worst case scenarios, what they don't like, what they don't want. And that imagination, that seed that they've produced, they planted it in fertile ground, which is that emotional connection, that belief system. And now it's producing it's producing this energy transformation. Their body is reacting to that mindset, and it is causing behavior. It's also causing them to continue to attract to them everything that's in harmony with that mindset. This is why it's so powerful. So when you read You Were Born Rich, when you read The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale, when you read Think and Grow Rich, when you read Psycho-Cybernetics, when you read How to Own Your Mind, when you read As a Man Thinketh in His Heart, remember, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, when you read The Power of the Subconscious Mind, remember, The Power of the Heart, Power of the Subconscious Mind, when you read these books, they're all talking about energy. How does that energy change? How does that energy be put into positive motion? It's all about what you're thinking about and how you're feeling in relation to what you're thinking about. This is the power of the mind. This is why it's so essential to work on your mindset. You want to know what you believe? Look at your results. Look at what you're producing. And now you may be super successful in a certain area of your life. That's awesome. That's wonderful. You probably have great thoughts and beliefs in the direction of that area of your life. Look at the areas of your life that you want to improve. What's not true about your life right now? Understand that only you have the power to condition your mind for success in that area. That is our responsibility. Our mind, I'm not going to get it because it's buried. How to own your own mind. The owning your own mind is radical responsibility for your life. That's where we become victorious and not victors. Victorious and not victims. That's owning your mind, commanding your mind to think about that which you want to think about. Those ideas that are good and productive and fruitful, positive imagery in your mind. That's what this is all about. So mindset is vitally important because what you think about and come into harmony with in your heart or your subconscious mind, it controls the output of the energy that you have. Negative belief systems and negative thoughts, they usually cause you to suppress your energy or express your energy in a negative way. That's what we can overcome by developing these concepts in the mind. Now, I want to encourage you, click the link in the description. Go get the training on this that is so much more in depth. I go just deeper in it than this, and it gives a little bit more examples. It will help you set the right kind of goals regardless of what your current belief system is. It is powerful. That's it for this video on mindset, how to own your own mind, how to win in life by learning how to express energy so that it attracts to you that which you want. All right, I'll see you in the next video.